Baruch Ata Adonai Elohim Eloheinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Yaakov El Hagal El Elyon Goy Melchasam Tevim Koine Hakam Zaychus Hasadei Abismei Goy Livnei V'nei V'Matrei Ahava Melech Haitzer Mashiach Magen Baruch Ata Adonai Magen Avraham Ata Gibral Medei Machem Misim Ata Rabbi Shia Mashgar Roch Melegash Mechakafim Bechased Chaim Misim Rachmim Rabim Semech Leitin Brei Bechayim Materasurim Mekayim Menasim Lisheni Apar Bich Mechbag Misim Melech Melech Maybe Some Chaim Misim Yeshua V'Ne'eman Ata Lakef Misim Rachatarinai Mechaya HaMisim Agisha ונעריצה כלים סיכסי סביקי דשמשש בחקידוש ככוס ולמיאחה וקרזה על זה ויאמר קדש 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 עדיין צבייס מרכז כבי ללמס משפחים ואמירים ורק בהם מקיימים בדברי שכל כסף להם אם לחדים לדעת מנקסין את הביתר הלויה קדש בשמך קדש דש מחיים לבצל ברכתו עליני האל הקדש עתה פני למדס בלם את לנש בני נמיית לפחח ונבדעת ברכתו עליני אינן הדעס אשיבנו אבינו של ספר וקרבים מה כן אבינו ספר מהכזירנו בסשובה שלנו ונח ברכתו עליני הרי זה בסשובה סחלנו אבינו כי חתנו מפחד למכנו כי בשנו כי אתם סלחת ברכתו עליני חננה מרסליה ראינו וענינו וריבנו אגלנו בהדמן שמחת כי על גרחת זכת ברכתו עליני גאי לישראל רפאינו עדנו ונרפא שיהיינו ונבשע כי צלסינו עתם ונעלי אגרו כל פורשלם הלחמה כיסינו يا ملك بنعم الرحمن بركة علينا بخير بإسرائيل بارك علينا أبنائه وسشنا زايز وإيش كمن سواس لطيف بسين تعلمات البركة من يدام وسبعين متبارك باشنا سير كشنا متبيس البركة هي أل طيب وميتي بعثم مبارك عشان بركة علينا مبارك عشان بشي بركة الله خير سينو بسانة استكامس بلسين بكامل سينو ياخد من أربع كان بسأل سينو بركة علينا بكامل خير وإسرائيل شيء بشبتني كبشين مسدي كبتخيل بعصم من يكون ناخذ الله يخلينا وعاتنا لبعض بكسر برحمة بتصدق مش بركة علينا أي تصدق مش بات الله ماشي ما تسيق بخلا مين بخلا زي من كرجي وين بخلا أي عم في ميل كريسهم ما خسريش ميل بساعك بس شاب اسمعه بيساعدني من بركة علينا أي ماشي زي دي على صدق ما فسين بازيك نعم خبيث إسرائيل بعقيدة بس يفرق مع جالس عليهم يا مدر خماخ النذهينهم سين سكتاي بخلا بيتهم بشيمخ بأمس بسمتكين إيمان والله أيضا نمشي كيف خبطات بركة علينا إن شاء الله بيتصاف صديقي إذا شاء يرفع برحمة تاشو بسيشكم بالسيفة كشادي بعتها خيسي دافيد عبد خناهيل بسكتاخي بني أيسا بكار بيابين بن ليلى بركة علينا بين يرشلايم اسم دافيد عبد خناهيل ستمية بكار نهاية مش وسخم كده شو واسخ كبير كلايهم بركة علينا اسمي أخي شو علينا وعلينا برحمة رحمة علينا بكامل رحمة رسم اسفل سينهم يا شميت في الساكن ماتا وميل فنفهم كده ريك ما تشويهم يا تجميت في سكابة بركة علينا شيء يعتفيلا بتسي علينا الإمام كإسرائيل بسلاس مش أي ما هش ما هاي لو الفير بسخة في إيش إسرائيل السبيل ما تكمل راسين وسهين ده راسين تمنا بلي إسرائيل ما خم بسخة سنة إنه في شو بخلصين برحمة بركة علينا أما كثير شيء ناس التي هاي من أخلاق شفاء مثلا بعد سؤال خير من جنوا وعطوا داري لنا خلص بالسخة أخيرا سنوي ذا فمش مثلا بكل صح يعني ساكش بقيمانهم فعاود فيساكم تبيساكش بقول إيس أنا بقول سرعي ما تعرف كده خلنا كمات عمرنا ممكن سامك صدقة كمية آدم كمية الله يأكل بمسبار الإسرائيل ويسناس الشمال كما كانت من البيت بخلا خاي مدوخ السلة بهذا الشم خاقال الكتاب فأيلي شو سين بعد سين السلة وإلا تاي بارخ حتى أدينا حتى شم خلنا الله هيدا سيمشال إن تاي ببراخ خاي مكان بخاص ببراخ من علينا بعق إسرائيل ما خبرخين ومن كان كأخ ببناخ يبقى بناخد سات الله وعدينا اللي هي نترسخين بيعمل خسر وصدقة وبناخد من خيم شال إن بتاي بناخد بركة عام فيشرب خلاص وبيخش مش الماخ بركة عدينا على بركة سامي إسرائيل بشال الله يسكاد شميت نعم يلا ما دي بناخد يلا ما كوس بياسم بركة من قبل شيء خي بخير ميخن بخير إذا قال بيس إسرائيل بعد اسمه كاردي بيبرامين شميت نعم وبارك الله ما يبارك ويشتبه ويسبر ويسرائيل ويسناسي بيزادار بيسالة بيسالة شميت كده شابريهم أيضا من قبل خاص بشراسة بخاص لخماسة الأمير الله بيبرامين التسكار سلايس موس القابل إسرائيل كلام بقول مش معي بيبرامين إيش الله مرام مش معي بخاين طيب يمالي ما كإسرائيل بيبرامين أيش شو إبراهيم أبوه ياسر جمالي ما كإسرائيل بيبرامين علينا اللي شبه هو مش أحمد ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ויאמר יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמי אחד. Kaddish, Yiskadash, Shemei Rabba, Yalma Libra Hiruse, Yamlich Malachuse, Yatzmach Morkane, Vikarim Mishiche, Vichayechain of Yamechain of Vichai, the whole base Israel, Magalo, Vizaman Kadi, Vibromain, Yehi Shemei Rabba Merada, La'al Maya, Yisbarech, Vishabach, Vispar, Visraimam, Visase, Visador, Visale, Visalal, Shemei Kudishaberichom, the Elam in Prograchasa, Shirasa. Bishbechas and Echemasa, Amiram Ba'alama, Ibrahim, Yehi Shalom, Rabba Mincha Maariv, Chaim Taibim, Aleinu B'chal Kol Yisrael, Ibrahim. Ois Hashem B'Mereima, Hu Yas Hashem Aleinu B'chal Yisrael, Ibrahim. Atida B'Yisrael, Yishayat, Yitzavai, 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 אני עשיתי ואני אעשה ואני אסבור ומלא הצדיק ומשמח ישם בניך כאילו בעצם מידה ובישר גלה שקט בדית האבד חייב לשמיים מקדם ושמיים ולדדים ואין בשפילו חבלי עצם אפילו חבלי רקנים כדי שיסתכל מים וירד בטייבה מחית שהיא נסונה ומעשה מריה מלך המבים מים כבים שעבר להגל והידה אבי חנן מקשר אמירת סרקל שברק ולזק את ישראל לפיתת ומצווה שנאמר עדיין חביץ מנסיב כיגתר ביעד Yiskada Shemei Rabba Yoma Libra Hiruse Yamlich Malchuse Yatzmach Porkane Vikarim Mishiche Bichayechain of Yamechain of Vichai the whole base Israel Magalo Vizman Kadi Vibromain Shemei Rabba Mevardak La'al Maya Yisbarech Vishabach Vispar Visraimam Visnase Visador Visale Visalal Shemei Kudishaberichom the Elamim Kaprachasa Vishirasa Tishbechasa V'nechemasa Amiram Ba'alama V'Ibrahim Al Yisrael Barnabanan Ba'al Tamidayin Yal Kol Tamidei Samidayin Val Kol Manda Askim Bardaisa Iva Asra Hadain Iva Chal Asar Asar Yehei Lahain Lechain Shlomer Rabach in the Chisla V'Rachmin V'chain Arichin V'Milzayin Revicha Uberkalamin Kadem Abuain V'Shemaya V'Imru Amen Yehei Shalom Rabba Min Shemaya V'chain Taibim Aleinu Ba'al Kol Yisrael V'Ibrahim Ois Hashem B'Reima Abu Yas Shmalim Kol Yisrael V'Ibrahim.
It's okay.
I'll share a couple of words. First of all, Rabbi Kievman likes to speak about the Jewish history. I didn't prepare the Jewish history like he does, but I do know that tonight is the yard site of the Tzemach Tzedek, the third Lubavitcher Rebbe, who is interred in Lubavitch. He's the two Rabbeim that are buried in Lubavitch. One is, whose oil is in Lubavitch. One is the Tzemach Tzedek, and his son, the Rebbe Marash. They're both in Lubavitch. I had the amazing opportunity to visit once, and it's a very holy and special place, Baruch Hashem. The Tzemach Tzedek was the third Rebbe of Lubavitch. He's really, in a certain way, the first Rebbe of Lubavitch, because the other ones didn't live in Lubavitch. The Rebbe, the Alter Rebbe, the Mittler Rebbe, didn't really live in Lubavitch. Only the Tzemach Tzedek, the Rebbe Marash, and then his son, the Rebbe Rashab, who left, and then his the great grandson, the Friedrich Rebbe, was born in Lubavitch as well, but he also was never Rebbe in Lubavitch. So there are only two Rebbes who were Rebbes in Lubavitch: Tzemach Tzedek and the Rebbe Maharash. Tzemach Tzedek is, of course, famous for many, many things, but he was a great Talmudic scholar, aside from being a scholar of Hasidus. In some ways, yeah, in some ways you're right. Maybe the Alter Rebbe, though. Maybe the Alter Rebbe. Yeah. But the Tzemach Tzedek wrote, among many other things that he wrote a sefer called Derech Mitzvah, where it's like an explanation of certain mitzvahs according to Kabbalah and Chassidus. He wrote many Maimarim. He also is the one who edited the Alter Rebbe's Maimarim in the books known as Likutei Torah and Torah Or. So he's the editor of those books. And he also has what we call the Teshuvah, the Tzemach Tzedek, the response of the Tzemach Tzedek, in which he wrote very, very complicated response to difficult halachic questions. So he was a great student both of the hidden part of the Torah as well as the revealed part of the Torah. Let's jump into Pesach similar. What did we do so far? I don't remember. We did a little bit of the Haggadah in the way back, right? We did some halacha a little bit. Yeah. How much time? What was at 8 on the button? 16 minutes. Wow, that's a lot of time. We could learn a whole lot of all the Masechta Gemara in 16 minutes.
Rabbi, you find what if
Yeah, to destroy it. As long as no problem. As long as it wasn't sold. In other words, if it's with your chametz that was sold, that was set aside. In other words, you can't just say, okay, everything in my house is automatically sold, and therefore, if I find something, it's going to be okay. That's not the halacha. The halacha is not like that. You have to set aside the stuff that you're selling. If it's not part of what you set aside, meaning you found it in an area. Now, you can have many places in your house. You don't have to put everything in one place. You can put everything in many places, but those places have to be clearly marked, clearly inaccessible as much as you can make it inaccessible. And that's how you sell your comments. Anything that's not in those areas, you need to destroy. You don't have to burn it. There's many ways to destroy it. You can if you tear it up, then you have to dispose of it. Either you know that it will flush, that's okay, or you go to a river and you can throw the pieces in the river. It's fine also. Yeah. Kidneys you don't have to destroy.
no,
You don't have to do it. Kidneys is according to Allah, you're allowed to eat it. We don't have a mitzvah of Baal Yerah and Baal Yamatz of kidneys. We just don't eat it. You don't eat it. No problem. And after Pesach, you eat it. No problem.
For kids. Do it after once it get clean, someone put away the home and give them for Pesach.
The best thing to do is to clean them. But even if they weren't clean, most toys are not going to have proper chametz inside of them. Now, if it's the kind of toy that it could, then you have to be very careful with it. But most toys, it's a puzzle. Worst comes to worst, what's going to be in there? Maybe it's promise from something that they were eating. Maybe. So really, I'm not saying not to clean it. For sure you should clean it. But if you didn't, they could still use the toy. You don't have to be strict about it. Okay? And hopefully you won't find any comments. Since you're bringing it up, and we'll go back to what I wanted to speak about in a minute. Right now, tomorrow night, we have the mitzvah of Bedikas Chametz. I told Rabbi Kievman to mention it before. I want to mention it again in a different way. Bedikas Chametz, okay, let's back up for a second. There's 3 mitzvahs. There's 8 mitzvahs of Pesach. We learned this way back. 6 mitzvahs have to do with chametz. 6 of the 8 mitzvahs of Pesach, not including Carbon Pesach, that's another set of mitzvahs. Of the mitzvahs specific to Pesach, 6 of them have to do with chametz. 3 of those have to do with not eating chametz. We have a mitzvah not to eat chametz Wednesday, starting at midday until Pesach begins. We have a mitzvah not to eat chametz on Pesach, and we have a mitzvah not to eat anything that contains chametz, like beer and whiskey. Good, put that to the side. We have the mitzvah not to see chametz. That belongs to you. And not to own chametz, Bal Yirah, Bal Yamatza, and you have a mitzvah to destroy chametz. According to halacha, all you need to do is make a declaration that all the chametz is not mine. We spoke about this last time. Okay, that's all you need to do. But the Chachamim told us that that's not good enough. That's the Torah. The Torah tells us that's enough. The Chachamim tell us we have to search for chametz, we have to destroy chametz. Since you brought it up, it's important to know what searching for chametz means. Searching for chametz does not mean putting 10 pieces of chametz out. If you don't put the 10 pieces, you can still search for chametz. You understand what I'm saying? Searching for chametz is searching for chametz. And you have to search everywhere. It really should take in a proper normal house, the way that we own houses, plus your cars. You have to search your cars, plus your offices. You have to search your office at night. At night. Or if it's not your office, then you don't have to search it. But if you're the owner of the office, you have to search it at night if you're going to be there. Otherwise, you can sell it. See what I'm saying? So, how do you search for chametz? Yeah.
They also see the years because the company is yours. You're not gonna be there. You're gonna be there. You're gonna have to check, right?
If you're there, you don't really have to check either. You just have to make sure that the areas that you're using, but you don't have to check la halacha. In other words, you don't have to check at night with none of that. But you have to just make sure that there's no comments around you. But that's
But if you're gonna be there for good,
and if you're not going to be there, then you have to go at all. It's not your problem. It's the owner of the airport's problem. Okay? What does it mean to search for comments? So in our houses, in our cars, it should take 3-4 hours. It should. It should. The only thing is, you don't have to do that all at once. If you do it all at once, you're not going to do it right because you're going to be tired and you're going to be exhausted. You're not. Rabbi Kievman, I just put you in the hot seat a little bit. You don't even know it, but I just did. I apologize. Why do I say it has to take 3-4 hours? Because you have to go through every room, and you have to look in all the places where someone goes. Now, if you have a shelf on the top of the what's it called? Nobody ever brings comments up there. You don't have to check it. The closet, the top of the closet. But if you do put comments up there, you have to check it. So it depends on your family and what you do. No, but you don't have to check on places that you don't bring comments. We don't worry about a mouse bringing. Only if you saw the mouse bring. Otherwise, it's Rambam writes, it's ain't the davar site. There would be no, then you can never be shorted. You don't have to. Anyhow. Okay. So that means any place where chametz normally would go, and if you have kids, that's any place lower than this height, period. Okay, you have to check for chametz. Does that make sense to you? So what do I suggest? Tonight is the last night before Bedikas chametz. Go with the flashlight. Go search 80% of your house tonight. Do the 2-hour search tonight. Search your cars if they're ready to be searched. Search it tonight with a flashlight. No bracha, no nothing. Make sure that you don't bring chametz into those places, and it's good. It's done. And then tomorrow night, search the other 20%. You are, but you have to search with a candle or with a torch. Huh? No. But you have to search. So my point is, you have to look. Huh? I understand, but I'm telling you that you have to. Even if you clean, first of all, did you clean or did your maid clean or did your? I don't know how big your house is. If you literally did a cleaning, okay, so that's the problem. It's a problem already, and you are the one who's the responsible one, not your wife, not your kids, nobody else. Only the man in the house is responsible for this. So you can't. Can you trust your wife? Of course you can trust your wife. Can you trust because of course, well, it depends who they are. You have to know if you can trust them. So my point, of course, my point is you're not to check properly. To check properly, it takes time. It takes time. Checking properly means you have to look in the drawers, and you have to look in the closets, and you have to look under the beds, especially under the beds. Yeah. So if you can do it all in 40 minutes and you're good, here's the thing. I don't care. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you that it seems to me, I know what it takes me. It seems to me it takes a lot longer to do it right. Huh? On the floor, yeah. But did you check? You have to check the drawers. You have to check under the. No, but that's not good. Done is not good enough. That's what I'm telling you. For Bedikas chametz, you need to check those places. You understand what I'm saying? That's not enough. You clean it. All the cleaning of Pesach, is just a preparation for Bedikas chametz. Now you have to go back and search the places that you check, that you clean. So you have to go back and search. Unless it's, again, if it's a place that you don't bring chametz, you don't have to check. But unfortunately, in our houses, especially if you have kids, anything that's higher than this is the place where chametz goes. You understand what I'm saying? So that means that if you have kids, especially younger kids, it has to take, it's a couple hours to do it right. So do tonight, take a flashlight, and all the places that he's suggesting that you already cleaned, check those tonight.
The trash pile goes on Thursday. Okay, if you happen to be careful, so
It depends. The real halacha is it depends who the trash can belongs to. So really, it does not belong to you. Really, officially, it belongs to the city. If you move out of your house, you're not supposed to take the trash can with you. Okay, so there is room for some leniency, but the reality is it's not so true, because at least in our neighborhoods, which is both Miami-Dade and North Miami Beach, it doesn't matter. They're both the same reality. If you lose your trash can, you pay for it, which means it's your possession. So that means that you cannot have trash in your trash can after Wednesday at whatever the time to get rid of things are. Okay, so you have to make sure that if it's too late, then take it. Find another place to get rid of it. No, you don't have to burn it. Get rid of it now. Find another place where you can dump it. Okay, and they should be clean. It doesn't mean they have to be clean enough to eat from, but they have to be clean. You have to clean your trash can. There shouldn't be enough chametz that if you put all the chametz together, it could possibly become a kazayas. So that has to be clean. See what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay, we have 5 minutes. I wanted to tell you about something else completely. Is there any other questions about that? I'm telling you, take my advice. Tonight, do your cars, get them out of the way. Use a flashlight tonight, no bracha. Get as much as you can out of the way tonight. And then tomorrow you search a smaller area, you search it well with the bracha, and that's how you do it with the bracha. That's my suggestion. You do what you want. Huh? Yeah, it's a good suggestion. I heard it from a very important Rav in Lubavitch, and I've heard it every year. He gives the same shir and he says the same things. And 4 or 5 years ago, I started doing it, and it's amazing.
I think he says that because he's not involved with the king.
No. I'm telling you, it's not good enough. The halacha is you have to search everywhere that you clean. You then have to search
with a light.
with a light.